Well, it's another weekend, so it's another weekend out at Rattlesnake. And I don't know, this one's a little different because we're supposed to be, what are we at? This is Winning in the Winds, Keith Glasscock.
Hi.
What are we showing, like 108 today?
It's supposed to be 108 today, yeah.
And then up to 111 tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be done before we hit that apex, but you know, I'm still guessing it's going to be well over 100 by the time we're done out here. And that's going to wreak havoc on the targets, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
What do you expect to see when you look through your scope out there, Keith?
A blob.
Jason, what do you expect to see?
Blob.
A blob? Uh-oh, someone just ran out of frame. Jeremy, make it 3 blobs in a row?
Well, I'm hoping to see X's.
Oh, see, now there's an answer I like. There's an answer I like. So we got X's, blobs, and blobs. Now, it's going to be a mess out there. You know, we shoot in weather like this. There's no lines on that board. You're taking educated guesses and different things like that. So any non-secret tips for somebody when it's 105 out, Keith?
Yeah, stay cool.
Stay cool. All right, I'm pretty sure we all have coolers full of Gatorade and water today. So the other thing that often surprises people is the amount of long pants you see out here. Jason's in long pants. I'm in long pants. Jeremy's in long pants. You know, contrary to popular theory, shorts are not always better in desert weather like this. You stay covered up, you stay cooler, your skin doesn't get fried. Oftentimes you can see Keith's got some long sleeves on. I've got pull-up sleeves that I'll pull on me when I'm out here. And, you know, it's just the best way to stay cool. Wide brim hats, whatever it takes. So, you know, we're going to see what happens. I'm all virgin brass today. I dropped over 2 grains of powder out of my load. We're just messing with some stuff today and seeing what happens. So let's just have some fun and see where it goes from there. Here's the first relay. You know, the wind wasn't bad. I'll just tell you in advance. Both Saturday and Sunday, pretty much everything was some form of a headwind, which always makes things a little more challenging. But really, this wasn't a bad way to start off. You know, I was, you know, within 1 point of the other top guys. And it felt pretty good overall, you know, other than my gun shooting a really tall vertical here. You can see shot number 6 and 15, you know, 14 leaked out here, you know, vertical to vertical. So, I mean, that's not great, but I knew coming into it, I didn't have the tightest gun that I could. So I think given what I had, I was actually really happy with this. So let's see what happens with the next one. Yeah, things got a little bit away from me on this one. You know, I was centered up, which was probably my only saving grace, and it's probably the only thing that saved me from pulling some 8s right here. Um, but again, just really bad vertical, which, you know, some of the other guys were still shooting taller vertical than they normally would. Not this bad, but they were definitely shooting some vertical. So again, I didn't bring a tight gun. It, you know, expanded in vertical. That's what definitely pushed me, you know, into some of these situations. And, you know, just this whole weekend, I just felt a little bit out of it. I didn't feel in control. I ended up just kind of playing a game that is comfortable for me, but not the right thing to do in these kinds of conditions. And, you know, I paid the price. If you look here, I dropped 11 points on this relay. But believe it or not, so I mean, a lot of the guys had some trouble on this relay too. So this still kept me fairly in it, and I wasn't that upset. So you know, we just had to move on to the last relay of the day, and let's see how that one went. The final relay. Now this one, you know, just again, I'm centered up real nice. You know, in fact, if you look, you know, technically 19 was still, if it had been a little lower, would have been 10 ring. So like every one of the wind calls was good, and I felt more in control on this one. But you know, these verticals again just got me. I got burned up here, then got burned down here, and you know, this just goes to show you how fast things can fall apart if you don't bring a tight gun to a match like this. And you know, I knew it going in, like I said, so I can only be so upset about it. But even as bad as this looks, at the end of this relay, so this is the third relay, it's the last one of the day on Saturday. You know, I was still tied for, well, I was in third place, tied for score for second, but just was out X'd by 4 X's for the day. So leaving, I felt really confident. I felt like, this could still go, really well. I felt like even though I had the vertical, I was still keeping it together well enough to be in a second or third position. And fourth place was, I think, 4 or 5 points behind me. Um, so it was actually a pretty good feeling going back to the hotel Saturday night and getting ready. So let's see what the conditions and stuff look like Sunday morning. All right, we got day 2 here. Yesterday topped out about 104 to 106, depending on what you believe. And today's supposed to get even hotter. I think we're supposed to get somewhere around 115, but I think we're going to be done long before that's ever a problem. We condensed some relays. We'll probably be done by 10:30 or so. But it's still almost 90 out, and it's blowing a lot more than it was yesterday. So it'll be a fun finish to the day. You can see a bunch of the gear getting set up here. So, all right. Talk to you guys later. Well, here's how fast things just went downhill. I ended up dropping a lot of points. This was only 7 points, but it was a costly seven. I instantly let the guy behind me almost catch up at this point. I probably gapped myself a couple points from the guy in front of me, and things just didn't feel right. You can see here, I struggled and shot 19 ciders. That is a ton of ciders. It is probably at least 9 or 10 more than the next guy. On a condition like this, you saw that it was blowing pretty hard. It was a headwind. It's a tough one. And taking 8, 9, 10 ciders would not have been unheard of for some guys. But to be at 19 ciders before I even went for record, and I was really lost. If you look at my ciders, you can see cider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They just get moved all around. I couldn't find a condition that I was feeling good about. My ciders again are just all over the place. Cider 1, cider 2. Sorry, I showed you record rounds first. Cider 1, cider 2. We come back to 5, then 6. I think 3 is up here somewhere. 12, 13, 14, then 15, 16, 7, that's sorry, the wrong one. 16, then 17. Like they just were all over the board. I thought I found a condition. I'd take a shot. It would land somewhere. I'd take a follow up. It didn't make sense. And I was just, I'll be honest, I was just mentally lost and really started this relay feeling pretty hopeless. And here's how bad it was is I reverted to some really bad behavior, which was just chasing the spotter in a condition where chasing the spotter was pretty dangerous. Now it paid off and it saved me some points, but it was absolutely the wrong thing to do. So you can see here, I started off 9, 9, 9, X9, like just horrible, right? Like 1, 2, 3, then pulled 4 down here, then 5 back up here, and then 6, and I mean it was just all over the board. And right about shot 10 or 11, I just finally gave up. Like honestly, I just said I need to get this done and get out of this condition, whatever it is. So starting right about somewhere around 10 or 11, I started holding right about here, and then 11 went in, and then I literally walked chasing my spotters all the way around to up here. And my last shot, I held here, and then you can see that it was almost an 8. Thank goodness I held as far as I did, but you can see it almost pushed an 8 out here. But if we look at shots 11 and then 12, I mean 13, 14, they were all in the X and 10 ring, which on paper looks great. Absolutely the wrong thing that I should have been doing. Even though it worked out for me because it was really treacherous. Like I just kept walking it around, and to walk it around like that for 10 or 11 shots really leaves yourself open to blow out some 8s really easily or even a 7. So, at this point, I had dropped 7 points. I was, giving up some points behind me, and, just really, really hurt. So, uh, I don't know. I just left feeling a little defeated, and it was just, you know, it was me in my head, and I just kind of fell apart a little bit. So let's see how that last relay worked out. Relay, still early in the morning, but man, it was still blowing, still a nasty, somewhat cross to headwind. This one just absolutely fell apart. I mean, like I just was lost. Um, I mistakenly again fell back on some bad tactics of chasing the spotter. I sort of believed the lie the last time, saying, well, I was able to run that around and save some points. And after a really horrendous start trying to call some shots, I don't know. I just kind of said, let's just get done with this. And you can see it was just horrific this time. My holds were all over the place. I was holding anywhere from down here to over here. I was moving all over the place, chasing it. And again, on paper, it's centered up. It looks good. But between a bad gun that wasn't holding vertical and me just taking some wrong tactics, it was disastrous, dropping 13 points, just firmly landing in fourth place, which, I got to tell you, the three people that beat me are world-class shooters. Arguably, two of them are the top five shooters in the country for the last couple years. The other guy is rapidly becoming one of the top five shooters in the country. And so if I'm gonna come in fourth to anybody, I absolutely don't feel like I deserve to beat them. I just know what I did to contribute to it, and that's partly what hurts. So, it is what it is.